All right, guys. So happy Thanksgiving. I think it's Thanksgiving evening in the States, and I'm headed to an area called Annachi to look at watches. There's a specific watch that I want to check out, so let's go. All right, guys, I'm at Annachi Station. So I had to go to Shinjuku where I got the Hydronaut and then switch trains. Had to walk to Seibu Shinjuku Station. And here I am in Annachi. And Annachi's, well, still Tokyo, still the city, but it's not like the heart of the city, you know, no skyscrapers around here. And yeah, so what am I wearing today? Well, nothing. So hey, have you guys ever done that? You go watch shopping and you purposely don't buy a watch. Well, a couple of reasons you might do that. One reason is it makes popping on watches a little easier. Another reason is because if you pick something up and you roll home, you just roll home as is, except for that box. Got to deal with the box. And another reason is about 10 times I've looked down at my bare wrist, and that can be sort of motivating. I got to get a watch on my wrist, and it can be the motivation that just pushes you over to pick up that watch. I mean, you got to have a watch on your way home, right? So what am I going to look at? What am I going to check out? Well, I'm not saying it's a Chuda, and I'm not saying it's not a Chuda, put it that way. But I will say that I absolutely love the Hydronaut, and I'll make videos of it, of course, but these past few days I've gone from particularly liking it to being obsessed with it. And when I was looking at that blue-dialed Hydronaut, I found this watch as well. Now, the Hydronaut that I got, box papers, and as you'll see, it looks pretty new. I don't think it's ever been serviced. And I found this black dialed version, and it's cheaper. It doesn't have box and papers, and it's just sort of. I guess I just told you what I'm going to see. It's been on my mind for the past couple days, and I thought, well, you know, if I want a black dial version in the future, maybe I can pick it up. But I've looked on Chrono 24 and I've looked on Rakuten, and this particular version at this price just can't be had. And here this place has it. It's in Tokyo, and so look, we're not talking a Rolex. You know, if you want to pick up another GMT, a Coke version, like I talked about doing, look, that's a huge layout for what's essentially a different bezel. Doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. If you got the cash to do it, that's fine. But you know, it comes to a Rolex, you might want to choose what color you want and go with it. But Tudor, and this is a big advantage of Tudor, they're much more affordable. And so perhaps getting a variant in color is not as insane. And so we're going to check this out, and I'm going to something called, a place called Tsuruya Pawn Shop. So we'll see. They've got it on hold for me, and we'll check it out. All right, guys. So I think it's going to be about a 10-minute walk. Now, it's really nice weather here, but it's a bit cold, so it's definitely starting to get winter. There's quite a chill in the air, and I've got a t-shirt and this button-up shirt on, and not quite enough. I'm gonna start having to use a coat, but still, I mean, I just checked my wrist for the date. What is today? I couldn't tell you. 20-something. 23rd, perhaps? 23rd. That's it. And yeah, 23rd of November, and it's still, well, it's unseasonably warm. All right, so we're getting close. Now, let's talk about some questions I always ask when I'm looking at a watch. Okay, first of all, I ask about the service history. Now, sometimes they know about it, sometimes they don't. I think this particular watch, they checked out the internals. Related to that, I ask about whether it's been polished, and that's a big question I have for them. When they serviced the watch, did they polish it in any way, and did they put aftermarket parts in it? Let's see, another thing, if it doesn't come with box and papers, I think that's a little sketchy, okay? And so I'm going to ask where it came from, where they got it. And I'm going to ask, is it possible that it's stolen? And if I take it for a service, which I will at some point, to Rolex, and it is stolen, what's the recourse? So that's another thing I'm gonna ask about, and it's something I didn't really bring up with the other tutor because it came with box and papers, and they did know about the history. It came from Hong Kong, so here we are. We are right here. And let's check it out. All right, so this is a Grand Seiko automatic, and to the right, a blue-dialed Astron, which, as you can imagine, is an incredibly accurate watch. Not really my cup of tea, though. In the back there, that's a quartz, and what do you think? Do you like these watches?
Yes.
Yes? All right.
I love them.
Oh, good. Okay. You might like Seikos then. This is a Seiko quartz. And right there, that's a spring drive. Do you like that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got a black dial right there. Right there, that's a tag hour. Do you like tag hour, Sophie?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Tag hours.
I didn't peg you for a tag hour, girl. And right here's another tag hour, a blue dial.
Wow.
Pretty competitively priced, but again, not my cup of tea. Now, I'm just taking some video here just to not leave these out. Not really anything interesting. Although that is a GMT, that edox right there. I didn't even know it was a GMT at the time. Over here, the single Rolex of the bunch. This is a gold perpetual, 34 millimeter. And you can see the Rolex buckle. That's an aftermarket strap. It looks like maybe snakeskin.
Yeah.
You're not into snakeskin. You can see the price there, about $4,000.
But I like that.
Yeah, that's gold.
Gold. I love gold.
You do? Well, that would be nice. I think it's a men's watch, but I think it would be okay for a woman.
Men's?
Yeah, I think that's a man's watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I
tried. Watches are bigger.
Well, yeah, but at the time this was made, smaller watches were in fashion. All right, so I'm fighting with the tag here. I'm fighting with it. I got it. Okay, so it says here 14 karat yellow gold, plus or minus 10 seconds a day. Again, Oyster Perpetual. They have the caliber number. And the inside of the buckle. What do you think? Does it look good on me?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my cup of tea, but...
Cup of tea?
Yeah, it means I'm not so crazy about it. And that's a Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Yeah, no date, but it's skeletonized, sort of, so you can kind of see the inside. And this is a black Tudor. What do you think of this one?
Yeah,
You like that
I
one?
like it.
All right, cool.
It's cool.
Thank you. All right, guys, have a black dialed Hydronaut 1. So it has been serviced through their service center, and it hurt me to hear it, but they had polished it. And I suspected that much because if you look at the pictures on the website, and I'll put a link to the listing, and you guys can click on it and see the pictures in detail. If you guys look at the detailed pictures, you can see on the corners there is some places where I think you can see where the the polishing brush hit the corner, and it just is rounded off. And I suspected that it was polished, but when I actually looked at it in person, I thought maybe it wasn't. I thought maybe I was wrong because it looked pretty good. I hate to walk away from what I think is a decent watch and a decent deal just because of that. I'm going to have it serviced anyway at some point. And when I do that, maybe I might have Rolex just give it like one final polish. I'd like to have them polish it. Maybe or maybe not. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, I got them to knock off 9,000 something yen. So I got it for an even 160,000 yen. So, all right, guys. So behind me, Shinjuku. So I'm back in Shinjuku, and I was checking out the bezel on the watch, and I can't really show you and video at the same time. But there's rollback. There's serious rollback, a natural rollback. This is the kind of thing you get when a third party services the watch. They probably popped off the bezel and screwed up the spring. And this is why I'm really wary of third parties, and when it comes to Tudor, when it comes to, well, any watch. If it was an Omega, I would take it to the Omega service center. Third parties, just the potential for screwing it up is great. So I'm actually going to go straight from Shinjuku to Tokyo Station, and I'm going to go to the Rolex service center. I'm going to drop it off, and they're going to check it out and fix it up, and we're going to get it the way it's supposed to be, because it's a good Tudor and it's nice, but it needs Rolex care. And typically I would enjoy the watch for a little bit and then have it serviced, but it's bothering me, and I'm in town, and this will be the first time I've been to an RSC, and I'll do it. I should have known. It's a holiday today, and so the Rolex service center is closed. But at least I got to see that person. I don't know if it was a guy or girl, but that was a treat. So I will be forced to enjoy this new Tudor until I can get it to the service center, and I'll try not to let a little bezel rollback bother me. No, I'll try to enjoy it as is. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.